To the I-Team now, a self-described citizen activist is turning up the heat on House Speaker David Ralston, who is also a lawyer.
Yeah, it's over Ralston's use of a Georgia law that allows a legislator lawyer to temporarily delay court cases. Senior I-Team reporter Dale Russell joins us now in studio with the details.
Senate Georgia law allows a legislator lawyer to temporarily delay a court case that they're involved in if they have a conflict with their legislative duties. Now, one man says he has the proof that Ralston has abused that law and delayed justice. Ralston says not at all.
I hold the Speaker solely accountable for his actions.
With the detailed precision of a prosecutor, self-described citizen activist Derek Somerville laid out his case against Speaker David Ralston's use of legislative leave in court.
I don't see how anybody can faithfully hold the office of Speaker of House of Representatives with this conduct in the public sector. The allegations against Speaker Ralston are real.
Somerville, a Georgia businessman and ex-FBI agent, documented his research on Ralston's court cases on his Facebook page, traveling hundreds of miles to 8 counties to examine hundreds of cases involving David Ralston as an attorney.
These victims deserve their justice, and we won't settle for this abuse anymore.
The issue? Georgia law allows legislators who are lawyers to ask a judge to temporarily put off a court case if they're tied up with their legislative duties. Somerville says after reading an AJC article detailing how Ralston's liberal use of legislative leave caused criminal and civil cases to drag on for years, decided to do his own research. Somerville claims since 2002 he found 279 cases where Ralston used more than 1,000 requests for legislative leave, most of those since Ralston became Speaker.
Do you feel like you've abused the system?
No, absolutely not.
The Speaker said the criticism comes from a non-attorney who didn't have anything critical to say about his performance as Speaker of the House, only his law practice.
I don't know this individual. I understand that he's not an attorney and admittedly does not understand the legal system or the criminal justice system.
Somerville says he found over a dozen motions from other attorneys complaining about Ralston delaying court cases through those legislative continuances.
I'm not aware of any motion that anybody has filed complaining of my use of that.
Somerville says no one paid him or asked him to do his exhaustive research. He insists it is about his own moral outrage and is not a political attack, even though he was joined by harsh critic of Speaker Ralston, Representative David Clark.
I think the Speaker should do the right thing. He's had 10 years in the role. He should resign.
Not going to happen, says Speaker Ralston, and he thinks he's fixed the law. He says he's appointed a bipartisan commission to study the legislative leave law after it became controversial in public. That commission wrote up a new law that allows victims or other attorneys even to object to any request for a legislative delay. It also allows judges to overrule a request. So now it'll be up to the governor to sign it into effect.
So it sounds like the current law gave those lawmakers a lot of discretion, including Ralston.
It did, Russ, and what happened is several years back, another House Speaker, Glenn Richardson, helped write the law, sort of led the law that broadened the exemptions, past the legislative session itself, the 40 days of the legislature, into the time period before and after. So it made this a broader scope. So
right.
I think that may have caused some of the difficulty here, but the other side claims that the Speaker is abusing it. He says no. So.
Yeah, well, perhaps this new version will allow for some checks and balances.
Some folks think it's not tough enough, strict enough, but I've read it and I think it's absolutely different and gives some more voice to people involved in the process other than the lawyer who up until now could just say, hey, I'm not going to be there, and that was it. Now a judge can step back and go, wait, let's talk about this.
All right. Dale, thanks for that report.
Thanks.